All right, good afternoon, VV Nation. Everyone, say what's up. I am happy it is a Thursday, right? Who's happy it's Thursday? Now, the market's not too happy today. All right, everybody, if you can hear me, if you can see me, put a VV in the comment section appropriately. We got Joey in the background today. Say hey to Joey, by the way. We got everyone just a moment here. I see everyone starting to make their way in the room. I see the viewership going up. The alert just hit here. Hey, Roger from cloudy Arizona. Hey, Troy. We got Nancy in the house. We got Bill as well. Bill's my number 2 today. We got Roger and Troy at number 1. See if Bill could take the spot here. Bill, you see me? I see you too, bud. Well, I don't see you, but you definitely see me. All right. We got Janet says loud and clear. Perfect. So it looks like, what I talked about Monday really just came through fruition this week. Not a good week, ahead of Jerome Powell's conference Friday. I didn't think there'd be, too many opportunities, at least, for the bulls. This week we've seen that, look now, the Dow Jones down another 150 today, NASDAQ slipping to 72. Even the VectorVest composite, pulling slightly back there at just 0.17%. Francisco says, how's your buddy in the hospital? As far as I know, he was supposed to get out of the hospital yesterday. Actually, I need to reach out to his wife. I'll actually do that after this live stream. But as far as I know, if I remember correctly, as I'm getting older, my memory is not as good as it once was. He was supposed to be leaving the rehabilitation place yesterday, but I'll call and make sure. And actually, now I think about it, if someone wants to just go to VectorVest.com/Glenn, see if his wife put out an update there. And if there's an update, maybe just put it in the comment section. Let us, the rest of us know if there is an update and how he's doing. But thank you, Francisco, for asking about Glenn. I appreciate that. All right, everybody. It's Thursday. Glenn's always let him know his fans are praying for him, Ryan. I have done that. I've told him he is very fortunate to be getting prayers from all around the world. John Boss says, at VectorVest, no way Ryan and Bill talk all the time. Right? Hey, Ruben, greetings. We got Green Dean here. Get the XP points. Yes. But yeah, hopefully, I don't have a real update as far as when Glenn will be back, as far as at least in the VectorVest saddle. But I know at least, step one is, getting him back home, getting him situated, make sure he gets his rest. But as far as I know, his recovery is coming along nicely. And hopefully we'll be able to get him on the stream here sooner than later. But, we'll see, right? I am optimistic. I am definitely keeping him in my prayers. I'm deep into HNST. Can you advise? Moody, give me that stock pick back here in a little bit. We'll take a look. But I've said this before. Did you have a plan going into Moody? Did you have a plan going into HNST before you bought it? To the upside and your risk, right? That is great news on Glenn. Thank God. Excellent. So SOFX is 2 times SoFi. Oh, they've got a SoFi leverage now. Very nice. Bring him to Las Vegas. He deserves some play time. Roger, I'm almost positive I would have to convince Glenn to come to Vegas with us. His wife might need some convincing with all of his health issues. But I imagine if I asked Glenn, he'd probably be sure. I'm sure he's ready to get out of the hospital, get out of the house, I'm sure he's ready to do something other than, just resting and rehabilitation. And hopefully, again, like I said, I don't have a real update or a timetable, just pay attention to the VectorVest.com/Glenn. His wife has posted updates there prior. So, if there's any, big updates, good or bad, that's the place to look for. As well, if you do want to, help the cause, help his family. The guy's been out of work, as you guys know, a couple months now. Things ain't getting any cheaper. His wife's handling a lot of load right now. So if you got the money, you can help, especially if you help you make some money. If Glenn's ever helped you make some money, give it back. That's only good karma. But again, I love talking about Glenn, but just, kind of throws my mind in a little whirlwind, bringing it on because that's my dude. So let's get back to the market here. Thank you, Mike. Of course, he is a big believer in the power of prayer. So, whether, it doesn't matter what you believe in, send him some good thoughts, some good energy, some prayers, and him and his family will be more than appreciative of those. BP says DEW still up. As last time I looked, as far as yesterday, it did. What was it? That little bit of rally we had in the second half yesterday created a bottom wick right at the 30-day weighted moving average. So yes, the DEW is up. Confirm call still down. Primary wave is down. So again, mixed signals. Janice, thank you for that. No update on GoFundMe or Janet's Facebook page. Okay. Well, she might be busy. Again, like I said, I think it was August 20th. He was supposed to go back to his house. I know it was earlier in the month and it got pushed back like a week or so. And Renee, and for anyone that's just tuning in or just finding out about this, Glenn had a stroke. I think it was, again, my memory not as good as it once was. I believe that was back in June. He was in the hospital, then he was in rehabilitation. As far as I know, I think he's supposed to be home as of yesterday. Yeah, Amir, as far as I know, I think he was supposed to go home yesterday. I know there was a little bit of updates in that movement in the left side of his body, but again, I can't give too many details. I'll let that up to his wife and his family. But yes, he's making progress in the right direction, though. That's what's important. Thank you for that, Amir. All right. Jana says, what part of LA are you from? St. Francisville here. I've only been to LA once. Beautiful place. I didn't like the traffic. Spent most of my time actually towards the coastal cities, like West Hollywood, Santa Monica, Venice Beach. Still very beautiful place, though. He will get better soon. We are praying. Thank you, Amir. I'm still doing great with BTI. Hey, I like crypto. I am glad to hear Glenn is doing home. I heard UAMY in the comments. I saw that going back up. Again, I'm still a fan of the UAMY. It's been pretty volatile. But as far as investment perspective, even trading perspective, still see optimism there. All right, let's jump into the news. Let's just see what the markets, what's moving the market, what's going on in the markets today. As we could tell here, a lot of it's going to have to do with this. If I take a look at the economic calendar here, Friday, this is it. This is what's all been about this week, right? We were just hearing more and more about old Jerome Powell speaking from Jackson Hole, right? They had the Jackson Hole conference. They had the minutes come out yesterday. As we take a look here, Jackson Hole. If we notice, look at the title of this article. Jerome Powell, Jackson Hole speech could make or break the stock market rally. I believe that, and I think, even our market timing signals is kind of revealing that, right? The market's kind of at a pretty pivotal place right now. Again, I wouldn't make, too many rash decisions in my portfolio right now. Even tomorrow, probably some volatility, but by Monday or Tuesday, I think we should get, I'd have to look at the color guard and do the math. But I wouldn't be surprised if the DW is going to go back to down, and that's going to be my confirmation to the downside, or the confirm call is going to go back up, and that's going to be my confirmation to the upside this week. So that's kind of how I'm thinking it and playing it. Let the market come to me. I don't want to, jump in front of the market and try to guess how everyone's going to react to Jerome Powell. So that's why I'm utilizing those market timing signals, right? If the DW goes down, back to down, along with the confirm call, I would adjust to, to that nature, right? Bearish nature. If the DW stays up, we get the confirmed up next week. Again, that's the breakout I'm looking for, right? Because we're kind of range bound lately. Thoughts on a rebound in tech sector? Your prediction on Palantir downfall is happening. Thank you, Glenn. I've been talking about Palantir, and trust me, I'm not going to give up on Palantir. And if you are a Palantir holder, again, I don't know all your goals and objectives. Actually, let's save Palantir. I got an article on Palantir. So we will definitely talk about Palantir. And it's not so much my opinion on Palantir, because we all know it's overvalued, right? It's hyped up, it's overvalued. I get the company, they got their hands pretty much wrapped around the Department of Defense, and I see the importance of that, but it's just way overvalued right now. So I'm going to stick to the chart, right? So I'm going to give you my opinion on the chart. I do have an article here on Palantir, but we'll touch base on what that article has to say. But look at this. Kansas City Fed Schmid shows hesitation about widely expected September rate cuts, right? So we're not getting these rate cuts. A lot of these growth stocks, like quantum, AI, they thrive on growth, on interest rate, lower interest rates, right? So if we're not getting that rate cut, and we're still getting some fears of growth concerns with tariffs, we'll see how all that plays out. It's not going to be good for tech, right? Tonight's presentation, it's the one y'all been waiting for. Bitcoin miners teaming up with AI hyperscalers. I was just going through some of these stories in the research. There's so many good things about these Bitcoin miners right now. But I will say they're volatile. They're pulling back, obviously. They're speculative. That's why I'm saying there's some good opportunities might be presenting themselves. So I go over the chart. So definitely check out tonight's video. That's pretty much the crossroads of where AI data centers and crypto miners meet. Here's Walmart. Last story I did at Walmart was about the radioactive shrimp, and I still can't speak. I'm still surprised the stock was up that day. That's funny. That's funny. All right. Bill Skywork. Is that Skyworks? Looks like a big cup and handle. Oh, wow. Skyworks used to be one of a top VST stock, way before the NVIDIA days. John, remind me about Skyworks. When we do some stocks later, we'll do the honorable mention. I'll do Skyworks as honorable mention. I love a good cup and handle too. So, if it does look good as a cup and handle, hey, we can take a look at it. That was a glowing review on Walmart. Hey, I like a good pun. Who's got some good pun? How many good puns can I hear about radioactive shrimp in Walmart today, right? Let's hear them in the comments. Let's get entertained on a Thursday. If I'm not in a rush to buy a stock today, I might as well at least get some entertainment, right? If price and value eventually intersect, how far of a drop is coming for Palantir? Woo! Ooh. We'll have to take a look at it, but hello. Palantir now is at 150. I think last time I looked at value, maybe 15, 20 bucks. Meet somewhere in the middle. You're looking at 80 bucks, right? That's kind of just the easy math. We'll take a look at the chart and see what's going on with it. But that's a good question, Fox. That's a good question. If they meet, right? So, and I'm just assuming, hopefully somewhere in the middle, especially if you're planning on holding Palantir. Otherwise, that's going to be a really big drawdown in your portfolio. AMD, Debbie, I still like AMD. I'll take a look at the chart again. Is it still holding that pivot above the ascending channel? If it is, I like it. But again, the Fed announcement tomorrow could spook the markets. And it really depends, if you plan on holding these stocks for the long time or these nice swing trades and you're up a whole lot of money since the tariff turmoil, as I've kind of coined it. So you got to ask yourself that question, right? I've been saying if you are of the mindset, you're just a swing trading position, taking profits over the last few weeks is what I've been talking about, right? Now, as far as an investor, there's more concerns, tax implications, things of that nature. You can do options, like Bill said. KGC looks good. CRS, I sold the call spreads and took profits. Glenn out of Palantir yet? ABB, I am not sure, just because the last time, a few times we spoke, has not been in regards to Palantir. Now, Glenn is a big trend line follower. It's still, it broke. I'm almost positive. I have to take a look before I eat my own words, but I'm pretty sure it broke the ascending channel, right? I don't think it's broken the long-term trend line. And again, my memory's not the best, so don't quote me. But I'm almost positive Glenn took some of his profits in Palantir. Does anyone recall if Glenn sold Palantir? Or I know he likes to, take some off the table, play with house money. I think that's where he left off, is he took off and he's playing with house money now. But like Bill, John, Janice, do y'all remember? Because I know a lot of people, follow his guidance on Palantir since he got a lot of people in early, right? So yeah, all right, there it is. Yeah, Glenn was using house money. I just know the way he thinks. I think it was in the stock 15, 20 bucks, right? Went up to, I don't know where he started. So he's already, he's playing with house money right now. Smart, right? Very smart. And he's still got the other half of his money. You can always buy back into Palantir at another time, right? Looks like Palantir just below its 40. All right, we'll talk about Palantir. Let's get moving here. Walmart. The only thing here is, look, it says tariff costs are rising. That was it. I don't like to get political. We all know tariffs, pretty political, right? Walmart says they're rising. I'm seeing a little bit of increase here and there. It's hard to believe. It's hard to know if it's just seasonal, or if it's the tariffs, or if it's just people trying to take advantage of the situation. But prices are generally rising right now, at least here in Charlotte, North Carolina, when I go shopping, right? Gold mining keep going up. Hey, AB, man, I tell you what, hey, nobody watched the dang gold video last night. It's under 1,000 views. And the whole premise of it was I looked at contra charts. I looked at gold charts. The gold charts just made more sense. That's all. That's the tariffs is not political. It is pro-American or anti-American. Yeah, I'm not going to get on that. I'm not even going to touch on that. Or, I think it could go both ways. I think it's a little bit more complicated than just pro or anti-American. But that's just my personal opinion, so don't butcher me for it. I watched Ryan. Don't label me, Alex. Sorry. And most of you know the good gold stocks in the VectorVest program. Silver, Troy. I get that. Silver. I'm gonna put it right in there. I just like assets right now. If I'm crypto, I like Ethereum. I've told you all that. I still like Bitcoin. I just think Ethereum's got more momentum. It's got more reasons to go up for the chart right now. Silver, gold, good. All good. Gold bullish miners are 100% on BPGDM. Not a time to go ultra bullish on gold. They are screaming at 11. I liked it. Ryan, I'm surprised ASM wasn't one of your gold picks in that video. Normally, I don't hand pick the stocks. I let the software do the work and bring up some of the best candidates, whether it's VST, or you guys see me resort by growth rate recently in some of the videos, safety, depending on how volatile the market is. But if you got access to the software, you can always expand that. Top 10, top 15, get a little bit more choices, a little bit more fish. Joey puts all your videos first when I turn on Google TV. How does Joey do that? I don't know. Joey, you hacking John's TV over there? You got him up there. Oh yeah. Joey said, oh yeah. Let's see here. My GDXU position is doing pretty good. John, just be happy he's putting me up there on your Google TV and not my pretty pony, okay? All right, so here, I was talking about that AI overvalued situation. I think it was Monday, right? When Sam Altman came out and said that, I'm going to listen to the guy. I'm going to listen to him, right? You see right here, time to exit on stretched valuation. A lot of these, especially if we're not getting interest rate cuts, right? And we'll find out Friday. Well, we won't find out Friday, but we'll get some inclination Friday, right? The market will respond to that inclination. You can see, look, Nvidia shares have tripled since our initial buy. If you bought Envious or CoreWeave on a video I did, I told you they're speculative. I told you there wasn't much safety and they're overvalued. Stick to the chart. You really got to ask yourself if you're in it for the long haul. But like quantum, AI, and that stuff, I'm not I don't get in the position of getting emotionally attached or married to a stock. No, I just follow the trend. Once the trend breaks, usually I'm out, right? All right. CoreWeave outpaces Nibius in GPU access, data center scale, and NVIDIA partnership, yet trades at a lower valuation multiple. I like CoreWeave better than Nibius Group. If I'm going to pick the two, and I think just that NVIDIA partnership there, NVIDIA, that's their largest holding in another company, is in CoreWeave. Who's shopping at Urban Outfitters? Ryan, you buy clothes from there? I haven't been to Urban Outfitters in a long time. Brad says tariffs liberations will double investors' overall wealth in 7.5 years from adjusting overall price and value parameters. Trust me, I get the point of the tariffs and I get the long-term benefits of the tariff, but there's going to be some short-term pain, right? There's going to be some short-term pain. You can't just switch supply chains and change all this stuff and not be a little period of pain in the middle as everything's trying to get worked out, right? And that's fine. There's probably gonna be some good deals during the pain, right? We saw that in the last time, right? The tariff turmoil back in April, May. Half of you took advantage of those deals in the stocks, right? So hey, whatever comes our way, we're gonna be prepared, right? It doesn't matter what it is. CoreWeave growth still good, just not 420%. But yeah, the point of this is just stretch evaluation. CoreWeave, I do like CoreWeave better than in NBIS, Nibius Group. Here's another article. U.S. probes delays in Tesla crash reports involving driver assistant systems. See right here, the U.S. Auto Safety Agency said Thursday it investigates Tesla's delays in submitting crash reports. That's not good. Sounds like a cover-up, right? Not good at all. The stock down. Let's see here, down 1%. Not too crazy here. Let's see here. The NHTSA also reviewing whether any reports of prior incidents remain outstanding, whether the reports that were submitted included all of the required and available data. It will not be good if Tesla gets, in the future, there's a Tesla headline saying they're hiding, crash data from someone. That's not going to look good. So, see what comes of this, but this could develop into even a worse story, right? Just want to throw that on your radar in case you're holding Tesla. All right, here's another one. Palantir Technologies. This drop is only the start of what is deserved. Joey, can we do a pool? A pool. Already, my mind's already for the weekend. Joey, can we do a poll?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the poll is going to be, will Palantir drop below $120 in the next 3 months? Yes or no? Let's do that as the poll.
Below how much?
Drop less than $120 over the next 3 months. Yes or no? I'm just curious what people think here. Now, I don't have to put it in the comment section, Marcus. We're going to take a poll here. 120. Because 120 is a big pullback. There it is right there. All right, we'll let the poll up. Just put it in the poll, not in the comment section. I'm just curious what the votes are going to be. That way everyone in the room can kind of get a sense of what everyone's thinking here. All right, let's see what this article's got to say, right? We all kind of knew, I kind of knew at some point Palantir is going to pull back, right? Now I'm going to say it's going to go to $50 or $100. I'm not going to say all that. I have a feeling, people are going to start jumping in. If that thing gets close to 100, I feel Palantir is going to get a lot of people are going to start jumping in on it. You see, Palantir's business fundamentals are strong with rapid revenue, customer. We all know that stuff. Growth everywhere. Despite robust operational performance, Palantir's valuation is extremely stretched, making the stock unattractive even under aggressive future growth scenario. Look at the PE ratio. Forward PE, 240. It's pretty big. And look at this short. There's not much short interest on there either, right? Not a lot of people are shorting it. So 54%. Took the lead. So that's almost split, half and half. 54% in that poll said no, that Palantir is not going to drop below $120 on this drop. All right, I like it. We'll take a look at the chart and see. I was just looking at Palantir support is 130 plus, Ryan. Put Palantir on the chart. All right, we'll look at it. Buy the Palantir dip. Oh, all right, let's get out of here. Let's get back to the software. All right, viewers, market's still pulling back. It's not like pulling back crazy. And every day I've noticed that this week. The market wasn't like, we didn't see like 400 points in the Dow down or anything. Nothing too crazy, but they are selling winner stocks. Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with that. All right, let's graph all. Let me see here. We know these stocks. Let's just graph them. All right, first up, we got Walmart. I'm just going to say this about Walmart. Yeah, it's not the most, sexy stock out there, but look, that thing is steady Eddie, lower left, upper right. Looks like the last time it hit the 200-day moving average. Nice buy opportunity there. Looks like that might present itself again here. We just broke the 40, so I wouldn't be in a rush to jump in it right now, to be honest. But the 200 puts us at, where's it down the bottom? $94. So a couple of dollars more down. You might be, hitting a nice pivot point on Walmart. Otherwise, it's just overvalued. Growth rate and earnings, I don't expect anything too crazy here, but 11%, 3%, earnings per share on the rise. I still like it overall. I just look for that 200-day, if Walmart meets your fancy here. All right, here's Palantir. This is what we all want to talk about. Look at this. It's still in the ascending channel, baby. I'm not going to give up on it. Look at that. Just like, I'm going to see if AMD held, because someone mentioned AMD earlier. Because these two are forming a very similar pattern. We had ascending channel, breakout to the upside, came back, and look at this. AMD is doing the same thing, trying to retest it, stay above this line here. All right. I do like that. So let's go back to Palantir. This is my support here around 118, 124. There's another level here. I think this is that 135 level you're talking about. That support level here. We're sitting right on that 40-day. Right on that 40-day moving average. Here's the long-term trend line. It's actually matching that 200-day right now. If there's any buying pressure today or yesterday and today, I solely think that buying pressure is just because off this chart pattern here, it's trying to catch support on this ascending channel. I heard there is big money in cocktail sauce. Walmart is the leading retailer for radioactive food. That is a new killer category. Oh, I love the puns here. Yes, I love a good pun. I heard there's I'm just looking at that orange bearish indicator. What orange bearish indicator? Smart people are taking profits. Yes. It's a pity Glenn isn't here to put the defense for his favorite stock. True. But I don't think Glenn, Glenn would be of the same mindset, I feel like. Don't be scared to take a profit, especially if you got, I don't know how much you're up in these stocks, but you can see the big picture here. Still lower left, upper right. But as long as it stays in that channel, I'm not going to be too concerned, right? Now, if it breaks below this, yeah, hitting in the 130 seems like a real feasible possibility, right? So you just got to ask yourself, how much are you willing to take as far as, pain? Isn't this his favorite apple? This is his favorite apple. This is his favorite apple. Dead cat bounce. There you go, Jerry. I'm thinking that's a dead cat bounce just because it's catching that trend line. I'm just going to give my 2 cents. And I don't like to make a prediction, but if Jerome Powell manages to piss off investors tomorrow, I see it breaking that trend line. That's just going to be my 2 cents. But if, the market can, doesn't get too crazy from, again, the conference tomorrow. Dead cat bounce with radioactive cats. Cats. What Glenn say? They're eating the cats, or they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs. Joey, maybe we should do like a remix video of me and Glenn singing that if he gets better. They're eating the dogs. I still can't play that. Oh, that was funny. All right. Do you think we get a rate cut in September? I don't know. I mean, there's justification for it and against it, and I get both sides of the aisle. I'm gonna say no. I'm still thinking no. So if the data just remains the same as it is, inflation, and again, inflation data is gonna, play a role in that, and obviously other economic indicators. But I'm still on the mindset. I don't think so. Denial and falling in love with the stock is how people lose money. It's obvious people are paying a premium. Yes, Jerry, it's obvious that people are paying a premium. Every article that comes out show me an article that says Palantir is an undervalued play or a value play. Show me that article. Put the link in the comments section, right? We all know. So that's why I'm sticking to the chart. And if you are just in love with this stock, at least just pay attention to this line, right? If it breaks this line, do whatever you may, do whatever you want, but just pay attention to this line here. That's, and I'm seeing that dead cat bounce too, man. I'm seeing that dead cat bounce. Job number 1 for when Glenn gets back is to do an eat the dogs, eat the cats video with Ryan. That should be our first 6 p.m. video, man. Screw the stock market. We got eat the cats, eat the dogs. I bet that gets more views too than some of our stock videos. I bet it is. I agree, yet they are predicting 90% chance of a cut. What price would you buy Palantir at? I'd have to look at the chart. I'm not going to give an entry price on Palantir yet, because I don't have an entry price on Palantir. I'm not. I mean, we're just now breaking the 40-day. We're about to figure out if we're going to get this. If we do break this, best case scenario, we stop around 135, right? The bears push it down. See the market goes down a little further back. We could get down to 124, 118. If we look at value here, so we talked about this before, valuation's at $18. We'll say $20. We're at 150. If we meet somewhere in the middle, that's probably going to be about right here. About $90. 90, $80, somewhere in there. Somewhere in the middle, right? So again, just be careful. I'd buy Palantir at $15. $110 looks good, right? Ideally, if you are not in Palantir right now, the next pivot we get, the next swing high we get over here, and we, if we come back down, draw yourself a trend line, right? When price action breaks back above that downward trend line, that's the price target to think about getting in. That's just my 2 cents. Anyone else agree with that? Put a 1 in the comments section. If you think I'm just shooting smoke, just put in smoke. But that's just me. I'd wait for this next pivot here and then draw my little trend line, and then play it that way, right? Because right now it's just a guessing game. The stock could stop at 135 or it could go all the way down to 40. Who knows, right? No one's got a crystal ball. G says smoke. G, thank you for calling me out. John says 1, no smoke. Many of the tech stocks show overvalued, but still do good. They do good during hype, right? And that's why we stick to the technicals, right? If a stock is overvalued, we stick to the technicals, right? This is the technicals. Technicals say, hey, I'm in an ascending channel. I'm at the 40-day. It just broke the 20, so should be alerted already, right? But if we break this 40 and break this channel line, that's telling me, hey, just get cautious, right? Just be cautious. But yeah, I would see where the next swing out pivot is. Maybe just start drawing a downward trend line. And then, if it breaks that downward trend line, hey, that would be a good entry point. The drop below the blue line with your early signal, you're getting trapped. The drop below there. Yeah, this one right here, if someone bought right here, they could be setting themselves up for a trap, right? I'm not seeing the confirmation. I'm not seeing the confirmation in the market, let alone the individual stock, right? All right, let's scroll down here. Enough time on Palantir, but that's the line. We're at a pivotal point in the market. We're at a pivotal point in Palantir. Here's Nebius. Nebius is still above the 20-day EMA, still well above the 40. You see it's bouncing off this 20-day EMA. This looks better than Palantir. Again, the market's pulling back. I'm not in a rush to buy any of these stocks, but it looks better. Look at the valuation, though. $13. Right now it's at $66. It was much closer to its valuation here than here. And you see the earnings per share has been dropping, too, ever since. So back here, look at this. Back here, you bought this stock with negative 96 earnings at $20, and now you're going to pay 3 times as much for negative $1.48 in earnings, right? So you're getting less forecasted earnings per share, and you're paying 3 times as much. So from a fundamental investment standpoint, no, I don't like this position. From a technical standpoint, yeah, I still see momentum to the upside right now. And if you're looking for a pivot off of 20 and you're bullish, hey, just right now the market ain't working for you. So if you do decide to take this trade, good luck to you, because again, the market is not in your favor. Warren says next 2 months are some of the worst of the year. I'm not jumping in. Yeah, Warren, I'm not. If I had to guess, I think the market's got to take a little bit of a breather. We're going to get tariff news, probably some not the best inflation reports if, with tariffs being, prices going up a little bit. But I think what it might set up for is a good rally for the old holidays, right? So that's kind of what I'm thinking, because think about it, we're already September. It's already almost end of August, so September, October, right? Take a breather. November, we could hit a rally. That's my guess. That's just, that's me using my crystal ball. I don't know if it's accurate or not, but if I was to guess, I think the market is going to take a nice little breather. But we'll see. We'll see. Ryan, would you rather sell a covered call and out of the money stock price and collect a smaller premium, or in the money strike price and collect the higher premium? Depends on the stock. Because you could do out of the money with a little bit more time and be close to the same premium as, at the money or slightly in the money with less time, right? It really depends on the stock, but I'd rather do an out of the money call, slightly out of the money call, especially if the market's pulling back, right? Because I'm expecting the market or the stock to go back with it. When does a Santa Claus rally actually start on average on the calendar? Last year was November. It's not like a certain day or anything. Not a certain day. You may have your stock called away on the later. Yes. So that's the only thing, G Money. Do you want to risk the stock being called away, right? So I'd rather sell out of the money call and maybe get called away at a higher price, right? Rather than just sitting there. And again, if I do sell out of the money call, I can add maybe another week or two, potentially, and get a little bit more bang for my buck, right? But again, if I'm the seller of the call, I usually like to keep it within 45 days. Really 30 days is nice. So that way, it's like monthly income. And it doesn't give the buyer enough time to be right. Does anyone tell me, will the Federal Reserve cut interest rates in September? No one knows the answer to that one. But if I had to guess, I'm going to say no as of right now with economic data. They started buying in October. It showed up in November. Yeah, I would say it looked like November. Here's Tesla. Tesla, again, in the news today. Reports about them potentially, delaying, some of their filings, some of the, the crash reports of their autonomous driving here. Stock down a little bit today. Stock's really just done a whole lot of nothing over the last 6 months here. As I actually look now below the 200-day moving average, sitting at the 200, the 20, and the 40 are all pretty close. So again, just resembling, in no direction really. So I can't get behind Tesla. It's overvalued. Look at all the forecasted data, falling earnings per share. No, can't get excited by it. All right, what time is it? 12:36. Let's go to your picks. Actually, before we do that, so don't put in stock picks yet. And also hit the like button. Hit the like button. So we're going to do Glenn's rule. 10 stock picks for every like. Or nope. I take that back. It's 10 likes for every stock pick. God, I about set myself up, didn't it? No rate cut coming. I would eat the dog on a bed. I would eat the dog on a bed. Oh my God. You guys are hilarious. Tell him in Chinese. Stop it. Be nice in the comment section. Sorry, but run far away from Tesla. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. All right, let's go to graphs real quick. I want to take a look at some industries. First one we're going to do is just start at the top here. Electronic. We're going to do semiconductor manufacturing. Still above the 40. Still holding. Still above the 20. Lower left, upper right. So overall, semiconductor space, obviously it looks like it's just taking a breather. It's not like really pulling back, but it's definitely taking a breather here. That's the manufacturing side. Let's take a look at the equipment side. Equipment side, look, this does not look good. We broke the 40, tested the 200, came back up, retested both of these, rejection, now coming back here. This chart pattern is telling me it might break this and then want to retest the 200 from the bottom end. That's kind of what it's telling me. I'm not going to, again, I'm going off the DEW and confirm call. I'm looking for whichever one switches to kind of get my confirmation. But semiconductor is looking weak, at least on the equipment side. Manufacturer side, not great, but it's still holding its ground. All right, let's go to crypto currency other. Still holding on that 40-day moving average. Someone said, where's this? Yeah, I've been talking about gold and silver. Actually, before we get down there, let's look at the healthcare marijuana. Look at rejection at 200, rejection at 200, but we're retesting this 20-day. These might just break. I did that video last week. If you weren't going to play it like that day, wait for the dust to settle. We're starting to see some of that dust settle here. And let's just see here. Let's just use Tilray as an example. But you see 108. See it jumped up, came back down, 108. I kind of like that. Because, again, all it's going to take is Trump to come out and say, hey, we're, getting legislation ready to pass or, to get voted on or something. So, yeah, just be careful with the marijuana stocks, but I do get the point of playing that play. All right, let's go to graphs. Let's go back to industry. Let's just take a look at gold and silver real quick. Mining, gold, silver. Yeah, there it is. This thing looks so nice. Look at that updated day. Big updated day. Woo! I'm glad that works. It's always good when I do a video and the stocks go up the next day, right? Never it looks good when they go down the next day. So yes, Tabula, I'm going to say gold and silver as the safe place to be right now. And if we look here, obviously, oh, let's see here. No. Horizontal. If you're not in gold or silver yet, you know, if you want the confirmation, let it break out of this channel here, the industry. But I see momentum climbing. MJ stocks won't be smoking hot ever again. Way too much out there. Yeah, there's a lot of them out there. In reality, as long as buy is under 640, don't buy anything. BYE. All right, let's go back to viewers. How many likes do we have here today? Hit the like button. We'll get you last 20 seconds to hit that like button here. As of right now, looks like we're going to get 7 stocks. Let's see if we can push it to 8 or 9 stocks. We got about 10 seconds left. Hit that like button. Joey, oh, there's the likes right there. Okay. All right, 7 stocks it is. Let's see here. H and TY. All right, we've got SPY, SPY. Or wait, no, BE, SLV. Oh, they came in quick. PRM, BDRY, VRTS. And Max, Newsmax. Oh, it's SKYW, SkyWest Inc. Is that what you're talking about? I thought you were talking about Skyworks. Let's look at both. Skyworks Solutions. There we go. All right. After NMAX is Iron. I am going to skip Iron. I'm sorry, Alfreda. But tonight's video is on Iron. Iron is in the list. Just double check, make sure that's the right stock. Yeah, Iron Synergy, it's in the list. So I am bullish on it, Alfreda. Look at tonight's video. And there's actually 9 other crypto players that are potential AI data center plays in the list here, Alfredo. So I will say your mind is in the right spot with that. Your mind is definitely in the right spot. The jump starters got the picks today. Is it better to have gold and silver in the hand or in the chairs? I got some gold when it was going for 117. Haven't seen it go down that far since. Missed AREC. Oh, yes, AREC. All right, let's get to it here. As far as value, this is ETF. PRM's undervalued. Skyworks, the most undervalued. If you're not familiar with Skyworks, Skyworks is an old... oh, there we go. Forgot which industry it is. Transportation. It's airlines. Oh, wait, no, it's this one. This is what I look for. Yeah, the semiconductor company. Skyworks here. Skyworks, overvalued, trading at 74. We only valued at 54 right now, so nothing good there. But as far as value, the most undervalued stock is AREC. Let's take a look at this one here. Next is SKYW. Value $2. Only trading at $1.39. Cheap stock as well. Not VRTS, VTRS. Oh. VTRS. Duh. All right, there we go. The most momentum up today. Also, our REC, which is second place for the value fundamentals. RV's good. Safety, not quite there. And actually, most of the stocks in this list here, not a whole lot of safety. SkyWest is the only one with the safety rating above 1, it appears. Yes, it is. We got relative timings. All of these stocks currently in uptrend except Newsmax. As far as growth rate, highest in the list, we got PRM. Oh, wait, no. BE, highest in the list here. AREC, evolved at rare earths. Let's see here. View full stock analysis report. Coal mining complexes. Interesting. Let's see here. I'll write this one down. But I like the growth rate in it. Let's take a look at the charts here. All right, first was SkyWest. I mean, just looking at it over the last year, it looks like a good chart here. Undervalued, value on the rise, price action on the rise. Forecasted data. It's good. It's not trending higher or anything, but on the good side of things, look at earnings per share. Nice, steady, stair-step fashion on the rise here. Looks like the 20-day EMA, typically a good level of support here. Just be careful if we do break that 40. You can see the last time it broke the 40. Went down quite a bit here. So just be careful. Just be careful. iShares mean? What do you mean, Debbie? Let's see here. But yeah, I still like the momentum. That 200-day looked like a good pivot there off of it. It looks like retested that 40-day as well. I still like it right now. Even the stock itself. I might not be in a rush to buy it today, but definitely put it in a shop list. Here's Newsmax. Not good at all. I mean, let's get rid of that big upwards. We value it at 171. It's trading at 14.25. Forecasted data. Not the greatest here. Growth rate earnings at 24%. Earnings per share did tick up. I just don't like this. The only good thing it's got going for it now is that price action is finally above the 40-day. You know, let's get a close or two above it. And if we look at RT relative timing, 0.68 is trending higher, but still overall just not there, not there. Here we've got VRTS. This is Viatris Inc. Look at price action now above that 200-day moving average. All the moving averages in our favor. Still undervalued. Valuation comes in at 12.28. If we go to 6 months here, you see the gap fill that we're doing right now. If we use a line here, I'm just wondering if we filled the gap. Nope, not quite. So we still got a little bit of upwards room on the gap fill as well. All right, here's VRTS. Look at value ticking up here. I do like that. Valuation coming in at 233 now. Price action, it just broke the 200, broke the 40. Hey, if the price action is not there, the technicals are not there. But I do like the stock being undervalued now. The value was decreasing for quite some time, but we're seeing a little bit of a turnaround story, both in the sales growth rate, a tick up in the earnings growth rate. Even the forecasted earnings per share starting to tick up a little bit from its previous low back around June. So I do like it, but the technicals just aren't there, and RT relative timing, even saying that here, coming in right at 1.00. So I want to see a little bit more confirmation before getting in either way. Here we got Break Dave Dry Bulk Shipping. Nice pivot off the 20-day EMA. Strong buy rating. I like shipping right now. Is it better to buy gold physically than it through shares? What I meant to say. Well, Debbie, depends what you're preparing for. I think a lot of people who, depends how you feel. A lot of people are in the camp of having some physical gold in their possession, in case things really get bad. Otherwise, if you're just trying to hedge, inflation or, hedge your portfolio kind of thing, the shares work just fine, right? Let's see. This looks good, but look, RT relative timing ticking up. I want to look at Star Search here. We are in the fast lane. Let's just get price action up a little bit more, but we're still seeing that momentum in the fast lane continue. So I do like this position overall. Let's go back down here. Here's Silver Trust. Again, Silver Trust showing momentum over the last few months here. Up day to day. We haven't had a sell rating on this position since March. RT remains above 1, so favor is in. Or sorry, RT remains above 1. So the favor's for the bulls still, right? Hoard gold if you think the sky is falling. Yeah, Bill, that's why I say, Debbie, it just depends, what situation you're preparing for. If things really hit the fan, me personally, I think, a solar powered generator probably do you a lot better in a post-apocalyptic situation or whatever you think than a little bar of gold. But that's just me personally. I like gold shares. I think people who carry physical gold for that kind of situation, I think there's a lot better things to carry than just gold. Like food, renewable energy, weapons. If things hit the fan, right? That's why I usually, if I were to get gold, I just, ETFs or stocks with it, right? Here's silver. But yeah, I still like it. I mean, the market's pulling back. Silver, pulled back. I saw gold pull back a little bit, but they're showing momentum right now. I still like it. I'm not going to get overweighted in either one of those commodities, but I think having some in your portfolio is not a bad idea. Here's AREC, American Resources. This is a energy coal company here, but they do have some exposure to rare earths, as someone was just mentioning in the comment section. Bill, Kinross Gold, we'll take a look at Kinross Gold. Kinross Gold was in the video last night, right? See, y'all should have watched the video. Just hit a new high. Or no, it didn't. Hit a new high. There it is, right there. I mean, that's just a beautiful chart, Bill. I like Kinross Gold. I cannot lie. You see the breakout here? Momentum continuing. If we break out this high here at 1952? The high, we're 1 cent away from the high. 1 cent away from the high, right? So if it goes up 10 cents, here's your confirmation. Take it out of the prior high. Ooh, sorry. But I still like Kinross Gold. I like gold in general right now. I like gold better than I like contra ETFs. I just thought they're just an easier trade setup, and if you get whipsawed by the Fed, Jerome Powell's good at giving you good old fashioned whipsaw for the market, right? If the sky is falling in, you'd probably best develop a taste for dog. Stop it, Tabula. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. I can't. Been in Kinross and sold half of it. Glenn, that's a good idea. Just like the Glenn here, he likes, once you're up a little bit, sell some of it. Protect some of those profits. Let the other half ride, or whatever portion you think ride, right? But this still looks good, and I like this. This is going to be kind of in the UAMY perspective here. Getting off Chinese independence or dependence, I should say, or U.S. dependence from China. For critical minerals, rare earths, things of that nature. But look, the momentum's up there. If I had a 40, I did not save my 40 or 200. Go figure. Well, if you ever need to add something, just right click, go to add moving average, go to simple, go to 40, and then I can just right click on it. I'll go to change style. We'll change this to, let's do a red line works. Make it a little bigger. My eyes aren't getting any better. I see support. I see a pivot, right? Every time it hits this 40, nice pivot. And we're getting back above the 20. I like it. American Resources, this is good. Nice trade setup. And for the value and the forecasted data, I see an investment perspective here. 100%. Here's Boom Energy. This is a clean energy company here. The momentum is there. Nice, strong buy rate. And look at the forecasted data, 39%. Sales growth rate coming in at 20%. The stock is overvalued. So that's the one caveat here. But the moving averages are in the favor of the bulls. You got rising earnings per share. I like it. Isn't the strength of the dollar still the best indication of which way gold prices are going? Typically, yes. But, God, it's probably been at least a year or two now when gold first got on my radar because we were at interest rate hike cycle, right? Strengthening the dollar. But during that same time period, gold went up. It had an inverse correlation. Well, no, normally there's inverse correlation, but the correlation was messed up there. The reason why? Foreign banks buying up all the gold because there's a lot of mistrust in the dollar, right? And we saw that really amplify during the tariff situation. You saw gold going up, right? So it really just depends how the world plays out. But as of right now, there's a lot of countries out there trying to get off the dollar standard, and that's putting pressure on gold, right? So it just is what it is. But yes, normally if there's an interest rate cut, typically that would help gold rally, right? But if interest rates are rising, typically that would put pressure on gold to go down because it's a stronger dollar, right? But last time that happened, gold went up with the interest rates. So again, just be careful of that. So I'm not too worried about the interest rates right now. I think the biggest bull case scenario for gold right now is just the fact that there's a lot of mistrust in the dollar worldwide, and there's a lot of reserve buying when it comes to gold by big nations around the world, and that's pretty much what I see for the the bull case of gold, right? But as far as this position, you have a 39% growth rate, sales growth rate, great forecasted data. Just the stock is overvalued. The momentum is there. The moving averages are there, up day to day, so no real concern. I like the stock in general. Here's Skyworks, is that semiconductor company. This was kind of a misprint. It's gone poopy. Nope. Look at the value. Just overvalued value, and it's still dropping. I can see why it has not been a top VectorVest stock recently. And here we've got PRM, Perimeter Solutions. This is a chemical specialty. What do they do? Anybody know what they do? Chemical specialty. Are they involved in rare earths? Or like the processing of rare earths? Let's go not view stock news. Actually, let's see what it does. Right click. Intrinsic value is potentially 71% above its share price 13 days ago. Yeah, I could have seen that. Yeah, it was undervalued. Let's see here. PRM stock goes up. That's all I know about them. That's right. Let's get out of this. The news didn't really help us. Let's go to view full stock analysis report. If you ever want to find out about a stock, the analysis report is a great place to go. And if you don't have access to the VectorVest 7 software, you can simply just go to VectorVest.com/FSA, which is free stock analysis. Isn't that right, Joey? VectorVest.com/FSA?
YTFSA.
YTFSA. You want to put that in the comment section when you get a chance? Sure. Put the link in there. All right. But yeah, so this is how you do it. See, Perimeter Solutions engages in the provision of global solutions for fire safety. Interesting. And specialty product industries. It operates through the fire safety and specialty product segments. Well, whatever it may be, I see the growth rate earnings at 33% over there in that column. So that's not half bad. Not exactly what I was thinking the company would do, but still kudos to them. I mean, they are rocking and rolling. Like you said, they are just keep going up and up. Let's go back. Viewers, let's right click, view stock graph. Yeah, 33% on the earnings growth rate, sales growth rate 28%. Even though after it dropped, it was at 102, but still really good. Will Palantir drop below 120 in the next 3 months? No, 54%. Yes, 45%. And most of you guys voted. We have 96 votes in that poll. And that's pretty split, though. That's pretty split. So, again, just be careful if you're holding Palantir. Don't let these trades become emotional. Have stops. We just talked about the ascending channel, and it's sitting right on that 40-day moving average of price. So those are two good reasons for the bulls to find some support here. But as we all know, there's a lot of reasons for the bears to push that stock down a little bit further, especially when it comes to valuation. Still love Palantir, but hey, it looks like it's getting called out, especially after Sam Altman had those comments, right? But this could also present great buying opportunities on Palantir in the future, right? So just be careful. Just be careful. I want to be in a rush to just buy Palantir today. That's for sure. All right, everybody. We're going to wrap this up. It's been an hour. You know what time it is. It's almost 3 o'clock. Time to go. 2:59. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of this beautiful Thursday here. At least it's beautiful here in North Carolina. Hopefully it's beautiful where you guys are as well. Healthcare, bottom fishing, or rare earth. More upside to get in. I don't really like healthcare right now. Healthcare, bottom fishing, or rare earth. I like rare earths more than the healthcares, but that's just me. Speaking of cats, is making me want to go to Panda Express tonight. You guys are ridiculous. I love it. I love it. All right. Everybody, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. And again, do not forget tonight's 6 p.m. video. It's the one, it's the only, the AI data center hyperscalers that are using crypto mining companies. I got 10 crypto mining companies, and one of them's undervalued right now. That's the one you're going to want to pay attention to, because an undervalued, it's only one. The rest of them are way overvalued. So if you want, a good undervalued crypto mining play, getting their feet wet in the AI data center space, check out tonight's presentation. All right, everybody, enjoy your afternoon, and I'll see you. Well, actually, tomorrow's Friday. I'll see you Friday. Take care. Bye.